Warning: this review will include minor spoilers. If you don't want to get the surprise of some of the moments this game has to offer spoiled, I urge you to turn off or skip the part in the review. Don't worry, you'll be reminded when the part comes up. Also disturbing content ahead. Viewer discretion advised. Welcome to the first episode of my horror game reviews, and let me tell you that this game consists of exactly that what I want to show in this show. This game is one of the best horror games I've ever played, and I've played a lot of horror games. It's, in my opinion, at least on par with the Amnesia and Penumbra games. It's a shame it's such a hidden gem though, but I guess on the other hand that's why I'm able to make this episode. Now let me introduce you to White Day, a labyrinth called school. This game has an interesting backstory to it. It was released in 2001 by Sonori, a small Korean developer studio founded in 1998 that started as a group of friends in a small shack. They're mainly known for their Astonish Us story games in Korea, which I never played or heard of, and a couple of other games. But some of those were also only Korean exclusive games, so it makes sense that I wouldn't know them. When it came out, people actually and seriously emailed the developer and told them that they couldn't complete the game because of how terrifying it was, and as such, easier and less scary modes were actually patched into it. Nonetheless, this game couldn't save Sonori from closing down in 2012, merging with another studio into Turn-In Games after being sold and bought multiple times. White Day only came out in Korea and was poorly advertised even there. There were plans to release a translated version of it to the English-speaking market, but obviously that never happened, making an already obscure game an obscure Korean exclusive game. No wonder nobody knows about this. Anyway, after Sonori closed their doors, this game lost its copyright and became abandonware, as one of the hardest to find games I've ever heard of. However, thanks to Unnamed Studios, who not only rescued this game from the grave, but also translated it into English, we can finally play this game. Unnamed Studios actually continued to patch and support this game for a while. However, I'm not sure if he still does. His last patch is from 2014 and it's version 16. His website is no longer available, and the only thing that is still active is his forums, which he created on a different website. People still do post there, however it seems that Unnamed himself has ceased his involvement with the game. Maybe I'm wrong though, might have overlooked something. Whatever the case, we can still thank him for the incredible work he did. Oh, and I haven't told you the best part of all of this. You can play it right now for completely free. You'll have to jump through a couple of hoops to get it to run on your computer, but let me tell you that this game is completely worth any effort you put into it if you enjoy a good scare. That kind of sucks, but it's understandable seeing how this game found its way to Western computers. And if anyone needs help in getting it to run, I'll gladly help. Now let's finally get to the game. The story of the game starts kind of bland, but gets deeper about halfway through. Girl loses diary, boy wants to bring it back to her, yada yada yada. I was wondering why you would try to do that at 10 PM at school, but apparently White Day is an actual thing in Korea in which men thank women for the gifts they got on Valentine's Day in form of candy. So White Day candy is an actual thing, and the boy, who you are playing by the way, wanted to give the diary back and probably put White Day candy on this girl's desk. I guess that would make sense, but on the other hand, if the girl didn't give him any presents for Valentine's. Anyway, so the boy, whose name is whatever you want it to be, enters the school at 10 PM, and basically shit goes down from there. You wander around the school all the while picking up notes from the school staff, but also ghost stories related to the school. I gotta admit, I love this kind of mechanic, in which you read something, and later on can anticipate, or in this case rather fear, the thing you read about. Just love that stuff. It's a great way to set up people, places, and entities. They did something similar in Myst, Alan Wake, and Spooky's House of Jump Scares. The latter being a game I may want to do as well sometime. If you'd like to listen to all of the ghost stories in the game, you can click this annotation right here, or if you're on the mobile device, you can click the link in the description to listen to my narrations of all of them in order. Shameless self-promotion. Turn off the review now, or click here to skip to the end if you don't want some moments of the game spoiled. You've been warned. While you wander around and solve puzzles to shut this annoying alarm off, for example, you start to notice strange things. For example, a janitor who beats up children if he encounters them at night, or scratching noises that seem to come closer and closer. All the while, the atmosphere is really good, and I find myself enjoying this game a lot more than Amnesia, The Dark Descent, or the Penumbra games. The atmosphere just nails it. I can't exactly pinpoint what makes the atmosphere so great. Is it the clocks that show the time in real time from when you enter the building? Is it the occasional dark hallway that you will be terrified to walk through? Is it the occasional broken light switch? Is it the notes of staff members making it feel like the school will normally continue the next day? Is it the creaking doors or the constant fear of having to hide? Yes. Yes, it's all of that. And more. Do you guys remember The Grudge? Yeah, kinda like that. It also actually makes a difference if you run, crouch, or walk. The creatures you encounter will listen for you, and you will have to listen for them, as each of them makes a distinct noise when they are close to you. For example, the stupid janitor and his keys. Oh, and also his stupid laugh. Also, the 3D sound in an early game like that isn't that great, making it hard to actually find out where your enemies are in relation to you. Another unique gameplay aspect way ahead of its time is the hide in the dark mechanic. You can't see in the dark, but they can't either. There is a certain charm to be cowering in a corner of a dark room in fear, hoping the janitor won't beat you to death. I mean, it sounds weird, but it's actually more realistic than you might think. In those situations, you just feel so naked and can't help but think, "Oh God, please don't see me, please." I found myself holding my breath while someone or something walked by, praying to the elder gods of a distant planet that he won't discover me. The saving works like the old Resident Evil games, but instead of finding ink for typewriters, you'll have to find markers to save notepads that are usually placed in the boys' restrooms. Why you would use a whole marker in order to write a few lines is beyond me, though. There are several more unique gameplay mechanics that I really don't want to spoil right now, like using the vending machines to buy healing items, which there may or may not be too many of them in normal mode. The difference between modes is really important too. In the easy modes, you get a mobile phone with a mysterious person sending you clues on how to finish the game. It's kind of like a built-in hint system. In harder modes, the world will be much darker and there will be a time limit. Somebody on the Unnamed Forums already compiled a list of all the mode differences, and I'll link that in the description below. The puzzles are also a nice touch and range from piss easy to "Yes! I'm a genius for figuring this out!" but not quite as hard as the aforementioned Myst. If you don't like figuring out puzzles with a fucking annoying noise in the background, you may want to consult a walkthrough. But I found the puzzles to be just right.
The end.
Bitch, I will eat your soul. All in all, it's a really good obscure horror game, and definitely one you should check out if you haven't already. Don't get me wrong though, it has its problems like weird AI, pathfinding, annoying characters, or the occasional cheap jump scare. What the fuck was that? Oh. To be honest, the only reason I can't call this game a masterpiece is because of the second half of the game. While the first part had mostly good scares and great atmosphere, the second part is just plain annoying. The puzzles are simple enough, but the janitor in this building is just plain annoying. It makes trying to solve the puzzles a chore because you can never stand around anywhere without thinking in peace. It's way too hard to avoid him or get rid of him, and if you do manage to run him out, it feels like you have a magnet in your ass, as in that no matter where you go and hide, he will always walk towards you, even if it's physically impossible for him to know where you are. I'm not sure if this is a glitch, but it hurts this game really badly. Seriously, the game would have been much, much better without the second janitor, or another ghost instead of that janitor. Also, the janitor seems to be glitched and badly programmed. Sometimes he just walks through closed doors, or sees you from weird angles, or doesn't see you from obvious angles. He's annoying. Really, really fucking annoying. But it also has these moments where it just nails it and plays with your psyche. To be honest, I would be spoiling the fun if I talked about it anymore. This is a half masterpiece in my opinion, and would be a masterpiece if you could patch this annoying nut. Either way, if you like horror games, it's definitely worth checking out. If you have an evening to spare, this is definitely a game worth your time. When I played it, it took me about 6 hours to beat it in normal mode without any guides. Well, it aged well, and I personally like the setting and the way it handles things more than Amnesia and Penumbra. I do think a modern graphics update and bug fixes would make this game so much better. In fact, some Korean guy actually started remaking this game with graphics updates, but he never got far into it and later declared it dead because it was just practice for him and not really meant to be a full project. If anyone would remake this game, I'd definitely play it. In conclusion, this game is really worth your time, and I'd suggest checking it out. If I'd had to rate it, I'd probably rate it 7 or 8 out of 10. It would be 9 or 10 out of 10, but the problem is just that second part of the game. It just really, really hurts. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I helped one or two of you to find a new game that you might like that you haven't seen yet. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you all soon. Hey guys, thank you for checking out my review. This was the first time I did a review like this, or anything similar really, so if you have any feedback, please post it down below in the comment section. Any feedback helps, I appreciate every comment, that would mean a lot to me. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and check in next time. Take care guys.